they tend to want to jump in the deep end, right? Before really, getting their feet wet. You know what I mean? Just step by step. Um, just learn the basics, man. Learn what crypto is, how crypto works. What is blockchain. You know what I mean? Just learn how things work outside of crypto and inside of crypto. You know, macro events, all the stuff going on in the world that affects everything, right? Also, things like just basics, support and resistance, just how things move inside the market. That should be the first step. Just learn the fundamentals, just learn the basics, and before you start
90%,
jumping in,
yeah, 90% of the guys that I know that does crypto,
Yeah.
they don't know what a blockchain is.
Yeah.
So
That's common, bro. I got friends like that too, man.
so everybody wants to do crypto, but none of them have an idea like how it works and what it was built for. But anyways, moving on. Okay, so the next question is, do I need a lot of money to start trading crypto? And I think a lot of people think this way. I was under the impression that you need at least maybe 10K USD to start trading or start, doing, Binance and Bitcoin stuff.
That's it. Yeah, that's a good question, bro. Like that is a very common misconception. You don't need a lot of money, like straight up. You don't need a lot of money. I think where that really stems from is, I think people get sucked into all of the content that's out there. You're seeing people hitting $5,000 profits, $2,000 profits, and stuff like that. And it just kind of sucks in people that don't really know where to start, and they think that's where they need to start. But honestly, you could start with $50, you could start with $100, and my personal opinion, that is the best way to start, because that's going to train you to protect your capital, right? Risk management is everything. So you start with a small balance, $100, $150, whatever you can, manage, right? And you just learn the risk management strategy. You risk a small amount so that you can continue to trade, because you need to practice, right? You need to practice, you need to learn. So that's where compounding your learning experience getting into crypto. It's a lot of people, they think they need to drop $2,000, $5,000 just to get in and get started, but you're risking too much money at once, and then when you lose, you get demoralized, and then that's when you say, this isn't gonna work. So short answer, no, you don't need a lot of money.
Yeah, so a lot of successful people in crypto that I know in my circle, this is exactly the same keyword I've heard them using in conversation, that is risk management. It is
risk management keyword.
Yes, you need to control your nerves, because I've seen people losing money in crypto, and they don't have clear strategies for risk management. Because
absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And to touch on that as well too, bro, losses are not a bad thing, man. You know what I mean? Especially when you're just getting started. Of course, the best way is start with a demo account. Get your knowledge refined, and what approach that you're trying to use. But losses are not really a bad thing, man, because if you set a stop loss and it gets hit, it drives an emotional roller coaster. You're like, man, I'm doing this wrong. I'm not gonna ever win. But where a loss is, there's always a lesson. You gotta control that and say, all right, where did I go wrong? What do I need to do better or different the next time? Because any real trader out there will tell you, your losses come before wins. That's just how the game is played. You know what I mean? There's a lot of content out there, they're just showing profits, and I guarantee they lost, some amount before they hit profits. But that's just the name of the game, man. And I always try to encourage people, if you hit a trade and you lost, that's fine. just track back, take notes, organize yourself, see what you need to do.
Because that was my concern. Like, I'm watching videos on YouTube and watching videos on social media. Nobody's fucking losing money, bro. Everybody's making profit.
It's like they're painting this picture perfect world, bro. It's not like that. You know what I mean?
and I knew, like that, bro. I'm gonna lose money because it's not true. That's what my initial thought was. Okay, so another question, and mind me, these questions are prepared by my team, but they have research like blogs and Reddit and Quora, and these are some questions that actual people have asked in the groups and communities. Okay, so a lot of people have compared crypto with gambling. My question is crypto trading basically gambling, or is there a real strategy behind it? Like, is it gambling, or is there a strategy behind it?
That's an interesting question, man. I think it's a case that there is real strategy behind crypto, right? But you gotta want, and you gotta really want to have a strategy, because you can just go throw money in crypto, not knowing what you're doing, and essentially that is gambling. So it boils down to your approach and how you want to situate yourself when you're getting into crypto. So if you say, all right, I'm going to get into crypto, but I'm going to spend 2 to 3 months learning as much as I can before I make my first trade, then that's not gambling at all. Like, that's a strategy. The strategy is learning, right? But if I say, you know what, I've been seeing a lot about XRP lately. I got like $1,000. I'm gonna go put $1,000 on XRP. Know nothing about the market, nothing about how crypto works. And maybe you throw your $1,000 on a downtrend or something, and then it drops to like $500, and you're like, damn, all right, I lost money. That's gambling, So it's kind of a double-edged sword with that concept. But in hindsight, crypto is not gambling, but it's all about your approach. How you situate yourself getting into crypto.
Yeah, and I've seen people. I do forex, I do trading, not crypto, but I've seen people doing a lot of. I know for a fact there's a lot of research that goes into before deciding, the trade.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you gotta be observant, you gotta be knowledgeable, you gotta stay up to trends, you gotta find out what's going on in the world, who's connected to what companies funding what, whose founders are friends with whom, and with the war thing going on, there's a lot of effect on almost all kinds of industries in the world, right? So there's a lot. This is what I know. A lot of research goes into trade, and a lot of people don't want to put in that effort because the idea that was sold to Gen Pop, not actually sold to, but we prepared it that way. We want this to be simple, gambling-like situation where we can just put in money and win at the end of the day. We want it that way. We don't want to put in the work to do the research. This is what I believe, I guess. Let me know if I'm wrong.
That's true. That is true, bro. Absolutely true. And that's what separates profitable, people, like profitable traders in the space from just people that just want to get in just to make money, right? It's like that saying, bro, like nothing good comes easy. You know what I mean? Like if it's gonna be good, like you're gonna have to work for it, And like it's definitely 100% accurate because you need to know how to, I guess, maneuver around multiple avenues, right? You need to understand how the markets work. You need to understand how just basics on how charts work, candles work, how institutions play in these markets, and also macro news. And like it's funny too because things have changed, bro. Like 20 years ago, you could just pay attention to like live news or pay attention to like Bloomberg newspaper or whatever. But now it just takes a tweet, bro. Like a tweet could happen any second. You got tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of people just on social media, soaking up all this news and all this stuff going on, macro events, wars, tensions, tariffs. It's just one big cluster ball of events happening, and they all affect markets. It's commodities, it's stocks, it's forex, everything crypto. So definitely keeping an eye on what's going on is a must, because that's how you kind of know, like the temperature of the market.
Perfect.
It's like
perfect. And I saw your course, by the way. It's a beautiful course. You've explained everything in there, the candles, and I believe I'm gonna have lifetime subscription that's from for that course.
Yeah.
Because
absolutely.
One of my goals in 2026 is starting up with crypto, and I thought I'm gonna miss out.
Nah.
I thought I'm gonna miss out. So that's for me in 2026. Okay, so for 2 more questions before I let you go. First one is, what's the maximum amount of money that you have lost in crypto?
Oh man. So like, where do I start, bro? Truth is like I was in all of these positions years ago. Like when I first got into crypto, bro, I was just listening to YouTubes. I was listening to people. It's like, oh, this coin is gonna blow up. This is going to the moon, and I was just throwing money. I was like, all right, let me go buy this coin. I would just sign up to the next exchange and just go buy it, and just didn't know what I was really, what area of the market I was getting into, right? I was just expecting to just throw money in. Everything that I'm hearing is just going to come through. I would say the most I've ever lost, bro, is probably like $1,200. Yeah.
$1,200.
Yeah, that was like collectively too. It's like, because, the main thing I would say, the 2 main things to trading and investing is your risk management and your emotions, bro. And they both go hand in hand. So when you invest or make a trade, and it goes south and you lose, something kind of like clicks. You're like, you get into this like revenge trading, like thinking like, oh man, like I gotta make this back. So you just keep dumping and dumping and dumping. The thing is like what I said earlier, losses, they don't have to be a bad thing. If you lose, you sit back, collect yourself, try to stay logical and say, all right, what do I need to learn here?
Bro, it's brutal. It's brutal.
It is, man. It's a mental game, bro.
Yeah, I've seen people going through that. The thing that you just explained. I've seen people destroying their life.
Yeah, they just keep dumping and dumping and dumping.
Yeah. The revenge trading. Okay, but anyways, last question. With this new AI bubble, how do you see the market? How do you see crypto? How do you see, all these major coins? Will AI have an effect in trading? Is it going to be good? Is it going to be bad? What's in it for us?
Yeah, honestly, I'm like, I'm pro AI, right? So I think AI is going to do a lot of good. Probably not all good, like, it's not going to be 100%, but I think AI is going to do a lot of good and has been doing a lot of good for trading, in the sense of, because, you have like bots now, right? You have like AI bots and stuff like that. That's a different kind of game. I don't particularly like mess with bots, because that's something that you just need to learn entirely, right? Like you need to understand like how bots work and what are the risks with bots, because it is technology, right? It can make mistakes, and you don't want to just rely on just having a bot do something, then it screws up your account or whatever, right? But in terms of like indicators and just kind of market analysis and stuff like that, I think AI is going to be like is positive for trading. It'll never take away human intuition or like human creativity and stuff, but like for the sense of the structure, I think AI is
It's better.
a
Yeah,
positive. Yeah.
yeah, it's better.
Yeah.
Okay, then. Thank you so much, and we're gonna meet again for our next session, probably next week, and let's
Okay.
see how it goes. Do you have
All
any
right. Thanks
questions?
for. No, it's all good, bro. I mean, no, this has been great. This has been great. I really appreciate it.
Great.
I look
Perfect.
forward to
Perfect.
the next one.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Thanks, man. Have a
See
good
ya.
one.
Thanks.
See you.
Same to you.